and using it as a launchpad for a full-scale invasion of Ukraine 6 months ago. President Putin thought he could crush the Ukrainian people and armed forces. He thought he could divide our democratic nations, and he thought he could dictate what others do. President Putin was wrong. The presence of so many friends of Ukraine here today proves this. Ukraine has suffered 6 terrible months of war, but you have also shown your incredible ability to resist brutal aggression, to strike back, retake territory, and impose major costs on Russia. NATO stands in full solidarity with Ukraine. Allies fully support Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, your right to self-defense and to choose your own path. President Putin started this unjustified war. He must stop this war and withdraw his forces from Ukraine. NATO has stood with Ukraine since your independence. We significantly stepped up our support after illegal annexation of Crimea. When Russia invaded again, this helped make the Ukrainian armed forces stronger, better trained and better led than in 2014. And since February, NATO allies have provided unprecedented military, financial and humanitarian aid. NATO is part of the US-led Ukraine Defense Contact Group to mobilize support. And I actively engage with leaders to urge them to provide more weapons and more ammunition more quickly. At our Madrid NATO summit in June, we agreed a strengthened package of assistance, including fuel, food, medical supplies, protective military gear, and secure communications, as well as equipment to counter mines, drones, chemical and biological threats. And we have over a dozen new projects in preparation for the winter. At the same time, we have strengthened our presence in the east of the alliance, because NATO's security guarantees leave no room for miscalculation in Moscow, and they enable allies to support Ukraine's right to self-defense. We are committed to our partnership with Ukraine for long term. We will help Ukraine transition from Soviet era to NATO standard equipment, continue your defense and security sector reform, and help you on the path of post-war reconstruction. Winter is coming, and it will be hard. And what we see now is a grinding war of attrition. This is a battle of wills and a battle of logistics. Therefore, we must sustain our support for Ukraine for the long term, so that Ukraine prevails as a sovereign, independent nation. A strong, stable and independent Ukraine is essential to Euro-Atlantic security. NATO has stood with Ukraine throughout 3 decades of independence. We stand with Ukraine now. We will continue to stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Thank you, Secretary General. Now, I would like to take you back to the last year when Nariman Jalal, first deputy chairman of the Majlis of the Crimean Tatar people, took part in the summit, in the first inaugural summit of the Crimea platform. And as President Zelensky mentioned in his introductory remarks, upon returning to Crimea, Mr. Jalal had been taken by the Russian security forces. His only connection with the world from a dark prison is letters. And I invite you to watch a short video with the involvement of his wife, Levisa Jalalova.
Как ты, родная? Мне не спится. Сейчас ночь субботы на воскресенье.
I cannot sleep. This is night from Saturday to Sunday. I have slept during the day and now I cannot sleep. I think about you, about our children. I envy you so much. I know it's not easy for you, but you are next to them, to our little ones. It's difficult to think that they're growing up without me, especially Niall. She just starting to walk, talk, and do something new and funny. I'm afraid that she will have to get to know me once again. I have one day like another. Time is very slow. Just 1 month has passed, another month. I feel depressed, but I try to fend depression off. Not today, though. Nothing compares to this. But don't you worry. I just need to share this with you. There is nobody else to share it with. I'm still confident in you and your strength. Do not be afraid to be weak. And we have to live, we have to host guests, invite friends. Just remember that you are the most loved and one for me and my closest friend. No one is dearer to me than you and our children. So do everything to make your life full. That will make me stronger and more confident, and I'll fight here. This is the shortest word to you. No agreements can make this. Can they be trusted? We have to fight. That's the only way. To fight is the shortest way to victory.
It will not be an exaggeration to say that the remarks by Nariman at the last summit of the Crimea platform were very moving. But these words that we just heard, they are deeply touching and deeply motivational. They motivate all of us to fight for his freedom, but also for the freedom of the entire peninsula. And of course, after listening to the words of a brave man, Nariman Jalal, I would like to give the floor to another brave man, leader of the Crimean Tatar people, Mr. Mustafa Džemilev. Mustafa, слово надається вам.
To provide for the rule of law